Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Cave Base Task Force. I hope everyone is well. I'm out north of Inverness near Kiltarlety doing some logging work. I just finished for the day. It's a nice day here. I hope you got a nice day wherever else you are. What I talked about today was another couple of perceptions that I missed out, and one in particular was last year when Starlink was on the move, had just been launched by Elon Musk and SpaceX. And me and my son, who's 10, at 9 at the time, we decided to watch Starlink, the launch. Well, not the launch, it was I think it was after, I was watching it go overhead. And it would have been a good little light show. So we headed out into the hot tub. It's not a posh hot tub, a lazy spa, but still a hot tub. And we were preparing to watch the Starlink as it came around. So as you already know, I use a various number of apps on my phone that cover the sky. So Stellarium is one, Sky Guide and Solar Walk is another. And there's various other apps that do it as well. So I was tracking Starlink. It was probably like 45 seconds out to the southwest of where we were located, and that was in Wales. And suddenly all of a sudden there was 3 triangular dots. When I say triangular dots, it was 3 dots in a triangular formation, perfect formation, flying across the sky to the southwest, coming over our heads. So I then started going, oh, what's that? That's not the Starlink, because it's 45 seconds behind us. But then again, as I said before, that some of these apps are probably have a lot of lag in their real life time to reality check. So I then went through all the other apps and seeing the same thing. There's nothing on there, no stars, nothing, no meteor showers in that area. It got to a point, again I can't really gauge distance. It went all the way up to the northeast and stopped, and then these 3 objects then converged into one. And I remember thinking, well, that definitely ain't normal. And again, still tracking Starlink, 30 seconds out, totally different. So I was like, I couldn't get a picture. I think I tried looking for one. My phone broke last year as well, so it wasn't helpful. I lost quite a lot of data and it didn't back up to the cloud at the time. So there could have been a picture, but then again, it would have just been a light in the sky, and it could have been a picture of a star. It's not exactly feasible or credible in any shape or form. So it was more my priority was trying and track these objects to make sure that they were explainable. So they stopped to the north and they converged into one solidified orb, shall we say, or a star. And I remember it disappearing. And I remember I was picking up my phone and putting down my phone because worried about dropping it in the hot tub. And every time I looked away to pick up my phone, I could see a flash out of a peripheral vision. A flash, and I was going, and my son was going, it's flashing again, and he saw the full thing. So I'm trying to say to him, well, what are you feeling? What are you getting from it? And he goes, oh, I don't feel scared. I'm scared, but I'm not scared about that object. It literally happened 3 times. I looked away again, flash again, looked up, flash again. And I was like, right, okay, this is crazy. And disappeared. Not even a flash, it just kind of disappeared, didn't come back on. And I stared at that spot for a while afterwards. And lo and behold, a few seconds later, Starlink appeared above us. Again, tracked it with the phone, and it was Starlink, and you can see the formation of Starlink coming across. So it could have been maybe a forward Starlink, maybe it wasn't registered on the apps, each one of those things. But the way it moved and then it converged, that's something that wasn't really explainable. Again, perception. Everyone's perception is different. And caveat to that, a few weeks after that episode, I was in the hot tub with a friend, and we were out, and it must have been about midnight, and over directly to the north of our location, there was a light in the sky, and that flashed 3 times as well, and we both saw it, and we both were like, well, what the hell was that? And then during a thunderstorm, a few weeks after that, I was in the back garden, and again, seen, it could have been a meteor. Quite big though, and it was like a flash right across the sky. It came all the way down, but at the same time there was ball lightning and such, so it could be chalked up to just an anomaly in the sky from the lightning and storm. So it's very difficult to kind of explain some things can be explained away nice and easy. What we're trying to do is trying to get people thinking of what it could be, and if it is something explainable, then we can chalk it up to something that's explainable. But if it isn't explainable, then we something we need to look at as a group. This is what the whole task force thing was about, was to have people come across and have their different experiences and then put out to people to talk. This is why I wanted to create it, because I understand there's a lot of stigma with it and people get called loons and stuff like that, and yeah, it is kind of, it only happens to certain people, unfortunately. It doesn't happen to everyone. But there is a communities out there. I know the community is divided in different prospects at the minute, with various different groups at kind of like an internal war with each other, who's better and who's not better. I've heard about good things about MUFON, I've heard bad things about MUFON, I've experienced MUFON myself. I wasn't really that great, if I'm honest. And there's been some stuff around Nottingham as well, where people have been. Nottingham seems to be quite a big hub, especially for certain people. I've got a girl that I know down there, and she regularly texts me some pictures and stuff like that, and video of what she takes. It could be chalked up to drones, especially the last few years. Drone technology's come really, really well. And caveat to that, the other day outside the house, someone flew a drone over my house, and I was sat there looking at it, and it was quite low, it was quite loud. And then the second time it came back, and it was quite higher. It was still quite loud though, but it was still high. And then there was obviously drones that fly around all the time. People probably shouldn't be flying them in some aspects, but that's just the way the world is at this moment in time. So people could also be seeing a lot of drone technology that's flying around. There's also something else that I wanted to explain. It was like very few years ago, and I'm sure a lot of people have had an experience of sleep paralysis, something that they can't really quite understand. And I've had it twice, and it's only when I'm really tired, so when I'm really physically exhausted. And one of the times that I remember was when I was in Afghanistan back in 2007, and it was an army bunk bed, and something was sat on me, if that makes any sense, and it felt like their face was right close to mine, and they were sniffing me, but they were sat on my chest. But it wasn't actually any physical weight, but you could feel there was something on there, if that makes sense. And I couldn't open my eyes, love or money, couldn't do it, just carried on trying to sleep. And eventually just kind of disappeared. I know that there's this is an ongoing thing, a phenomenon around the world, sleep paralysis, and it could be attributed to some of the abduction cases. Not all, but some, and especially with I think it's the old case of it's the Hag and the Hat Man, and shadow people. That's another one. There's a woman in Wales that I was speaking to for a while, and she had an experience with shadow people in her house. It's quite a scary one, and I'll allude to that in the next one. And it was a decent little case file, to be honest. And there's a few friends that I know have had waking dreams, and sleep paralysis, and that's where we are at the minute. So, as always, if, like I said before, I'm going to stick it in the comments if you want. But if I want to make an email app, and you can email me some of your experiences, what I'll do is I'll read out your experiences online. I don't have to share your names if you don't want to. I can understand it's quite a fickle subject for some people to sort of grasp, even though we still live in a day and age where everything's kind of, certain things are taboo, certain things aren't. And there's some fascinating cases out there which was alluded to. So I'm also speaking with Ben from the 401 files, so I'll probably be on with him at some point as well, and we'll be doing something. He's more he's everything kind of thing, so it's a bit like me kind of way of thinking. I mean, I will cover some cryptid stuff that would probably allude to, but it's not my area of expertise, and I don't want to piss on anyone's chips when it comes to their sort of content. This is one of them. Well, anyway, it's a glorious day up here, and I've just finished up, and I'll just do a quick video to keep going. I've been busy this week, that's why I haven't got around to doing another one. I'll see you soon later on. Have a good one. See you later.